Hello everybody at Daily Comics Nexus. This is Hawk Dad and the Fandom Stranger YouTube channel. We're here today to celebrate Daredevil here. Whatever that was. As we've been celebrating Hotter Than Hell's Kitchen Month, we've been talking a lot about Daredevil and the side characters and his villains. Well, here's the video that I promised. This is going to be a little bit of an introduction to Daredevil. And we're going to talk a little bit about him. So, where do we start? Well, let's start at the very beginning. Matt Murdock was the son of Jack Murdock. Jack Murdock was a boxer who fell out of sorts and accumulated a major debt. He ended up taking up working as a strongman for a local mafia when Matt Murdock discovered his father beating up local business owners. After that time, Matt Murdock got into an accident trying to save a blind man crossing the street. And during that's when radioactive waste fell into his eyes and he was blinded, but then granted hypersenses. His father wound up getting back into boxing so they could get themselves out of a debt situation. But to make his son proud of him, he wound up not falling in a boxing match, not taking the fall, and was shot dead for it. So Matt Murdock took up his mission for justice and hunted down the criminal that killed his father, and then continued on his adventures. Now, this story has been collected in multiple volumes. We have here the Daredevil Season 1, which is a retelling of those stories along with earlier adventures. This is a good adventure. This is good for people who want an abridged version of his origin story. It's more or less hits the same beats, but it's not necessarily canon. It's retold in a manner to match TV show pacings and stuff like that. Now, you also have collected in the Marvel Essential series. This is probably my favorite, as I have every volume of it. These collect up to 20 to 30 issues per volume. You can find them roughly about $16.99 if you can find them inside of stores. Up to $19.99 on the later volumes here, volumes 5 and volume 6. These are also collected in the Marvel Masterworks, which are a lot more expensive. They're probably about twice the price, give or take, maybe even more, but you get half as much. But you get everything in color. So it's up to you whether or not you want something like this, which is done in black and white on newspaper print. You get more of the story as everything is shaped or about the same size as a phone book. You get more for it. The other thing to note is that Volume 6, where this ends, is also the same place where the last of the Marvel Masterworks also ends, as well as all the digital issues that you can find as of right now in 2018, as I'm speaking. Where this book ends is where the last of the downloads, the issues you can find on Marvel.com or Comixology, that's where it ends. Same with the Marvel Masterworks also ends. And it eventually starts picking up when you get into the Frank Miller run. Right around that time is where it picks it back up. So there's about, I believe it was 13 to 23 issues. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's right about where it goes. So from there, we also have, you can read all that, or you can also pick up from here, which is the start of the newer run. This is the Kevin Smith run. This starts off everything. This is a really good book. I would recommend it, which goes into the Brian Michael Bendis Malieve run. This is probably the most quintessential Daredevil run that anybody will ever tell you to read. It's coming from here and moving into these. This was also later then picked up by Ed Brubaker, who picked up the torch and really delivered some more knockout stories during this time. This was definitely the highlight of Daredevil, as most people would tell you. The third writer to pick up after them was Andy Diggle. Now, Andy Diggle he brought it home. He ended everything with Shadowland. And it was that was also a very fantastic story. So that right about there is where I would say, if you want to be a Daredevil fan, you can pretty much go from there, because then you go into the Mark Waid run. Now, the Mark Waid run is probably my second least favorite time of Daredevil at all, like ever. There was a brief moment in time in some of the earlier Daredevils where Daredevil and Black Widow team up. That's probably my least favorite time for Daredevil, but I still say give everything a read. As I reviewed earlier in the month, Daredevil Father on Father's Day. It's an okay story. If you want to read it, read it. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. Whatever. You also have the Ben Affleck movie, and you have the Netflix TV show, which is always really good. I would definitely recommend the Netflix TV show, as Season 3 is supposed to be dropping here relatively soon. Daredevil also has a standalone story, Daredevil Ninja. This is a pretty good story. It's fun. It's light. If you're looking for something quick to read, I would recommend it. Definitely for sure. More Mark Waid. Screw that guy. Daredevil Redemption. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of his or not. Daredevil, this is the best story you can read. It has an emotional punch. It's dark. It's amazing. This is exactly what you would want in a comic book. I can't recommend it enough. I actually plan on reviewing this one way more in detail. But again, Daredevil Redemption is a fantastic story. If you're a comic book collector, if you like things that are dark and gritty and depth and complex, this is the book to get on your shelf. This one right here. Daredevil also has a couple of novels that are they're really good. What I don't have pictured here, but I did review, was Predator's Smile. That one is by far the best Daredevil novel out there. If you can find it for cheap, pick it up. Otherwise, on Amazon, you're looking to drop between $8 and $20 for it. I would say it's worth about the $12 to $14. Anything over that, you might be getting a little fleeced, but it's still really, really good. This one right here, Daredevil's Cutting Edge, it's a good story. You can normally find it for about $3. That's about what it's worth. There's also the Man Without Fear novelization. There's also the Man Without Fear graphic novel. Now, I would recommend that if you're going to really get into Daredevil, start off with this, because this is an official canon story. Man Without Fear, there's, like I said, this is the novelization. There's illustrations on the inside. If you want to pick up the graphic novel, go for that. That one's probably a little bit of a quicker read. And then go into your essentials or your masterworks. Now, if you want to start off with masterworks, I would recommend doing digital when they have sales, because typically Comixology will sell things for about $5.99, and if you have a Comixology Unlimited account, they'll take it down to about $4.75, $4.80. They'll knock off about $1 or so, because Marvel has about 15% discount, so it's worth going into that from there. Outside of that, that's just about everything I can guide you on. The current run that's going on, it's pretty good. It's been, for me personally, it's been ups and downs, but I love the return to form for Daredevil. I like the fact that they're making it more of a crime drama, that they're following more on him fighting organized crime and cults, which is a really good back to form for how he should be and how the tone of his character and his comic should be. Which is why I was very upset with the Mark Waid, because it was like rewinding it too far back into his swashbuckler days. And we've gone past that point now after Frank Miller. So hopefully everybody has been enjoying Daredevil month so far. We look forward to celebrating more superheroes next month, so look forward to that. It's going to be the Patriotic Month, where we're going to be celebrating not only American heroes, but heroes around the world, across all the different brands. Ones who superheroes who've served their government and their people and their countries. So characters like Captain America, Punisher, Moon Knight, War Machine, Wolverine, and even John Stewart, the Green Lantern. We're going to be focusing in on a lot of those characters next month, so look forward to that. And with that, everybody, have a good day. See you next time.